Hello, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to my channel, Christian Landaeta Torres, on YouTube. I'm very glad to have two very interesting musicians. One of them I've already met on one of these interviews, Thanasis or Thaneco. I don't know. Have
Okay.
worked. You have worked with this other guest we have here, Rene, whose artistic name is Romerium, and that I really heard for the first time with this amazing new album called Interstellar Tunnel, which
Yeah.
name alone suggests many interesting things. So welcome, Rene and Thaneco Thanasis, to my channel.
Yes.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for
Mhm.
the invitation. It's an honor for me to be here to discuss with you. Actually, it's my third interview, but with you it's the second. I want to say a few things about how I met Romerium.
Okay.
Rene is from the Netherlands,
Yeah.
and I discovered his music from Bandcamp, and I was immediately impressed by his style of music. Actually, I remember that the first time that I listened to his music was through an album that he wrote about Chinese music, something like this. I don't remember correctly. Maybe Rene can help me a little bit.
Yes. We were invited by Jason Kruger, Mac of Bio Night, and
Yes,
we
exactly. Yes.
together have making a track for the compilation album and named From Inner Out to Outer Space, celebration of electronic music.
Exactly.
And
Yes.
Jason had suggested to me to work together with Thaneco. That was the first track, and well, okay, it worked very good out, and so we decided to make a first album. The album knows as Sequences Passing By. So Thaneco sent me some delicious sequences, and I just make some beautiful outfits. And soon we had something like van okay, we can make some more. And we make another album and another album, and now we
Yeah.
have to now we have to
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that
And
sequences passing by was recorded back in 2019.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
So
um,
all these years, one or two albums a year we make together, and we make solo albums by ourselves.
Yeah.
Thaneco had arbeidet nog met someone else, but goes very well. Goes very well. That's very good.
Yeah. My question is for both of you. Not being a musician, my question comes from being a listener and a music fan. How do you know that what the other is doing or can do matches exactly what you feel, embellishes what you already did or are doing? Because I'm sure that there have been many collaborations before between other musicians that sometimes do not work. And in fact, that's the reason why some bands split up sometimes or they make their own projects. So what makes you feel comfortable together, Thaneco?
yes. Okay. I discovered that I have many similar things with my music. Romerium's music has similar things that I like, and especially his music is very atmospheric, and he is always telling a story about. He always has a concept in his music, and that is what I like very much. I like the sounds that he is using. They're very very beautiful sounds, and from very good selected plugins, VST plugins, and he's creating very atmospheric music that I really like.
As far as I know, yeah.
No,
I was saying, as far as I know.
So
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so sometimes when we collaborate, we find that we agree in most things. Other times we might have some differences in some like minor things, like is that this has to be louder on this. The snare has to be a little less loud, or this sound has to be different, or something like this. But most of the things are we agree. So that's why you can see that all our albums have a coherent quality. All our tracks have the same style. We are trying to not to change too much in each album. Every album has a different story, but it has a similar style of music. We don't tend to deviate a lot from what we like to write. So I don't know, maybe René can say something more, I think.
We have me and Thaneco. I have said to Thaneco at the beginning, we are going for the result, only for the result. And when something is not quite right, we just say it to each other. We are honest to each other. If something is right, okay, we say it, and okay, we make something better out of it. That's it, and that's all there is. In fact, and okay, I like his style. His how do you call it? His genius. What the sequences and so on. So we both have something from, wow, that's very good what he's making. And Thaneco had the same about me, to say, hey, that is very good what Romerium makes. So
yes, I agree.
You're fans of each other.
yes.
I agree, and I also think that Romerium has very too much a talent to make a good production, to make good mastering. He can do very good mixing, and so
you too.
many times. Thank you very much. But for many projects, I give him the album to mix it and master it. And the last one, the Interstellar Tunnel, is mastered by Romerium. He has done a very good job. And I also have to say that what we do generally, he sends me his ideas through Messenger, and I work on his ideas. And I always get inspired by some sequence or some sound that he has. And this is the way that we work every time that we work on an album. We send each other files, audio files, and we begin from this procedure.
I sent
yes.
To name it, you send files from
yes.
that are some bass tracks, 2-3 lines, and some solo to start, and I don't make it. It's not a complete song. But I sent to Thaneco. Thaneco, okay, I can make. I have inspiration therefrom, and I make it. And the other way around, Thaneco sent me some sequences, some lines, and okay, so we work.
I was going to ask you that because again, I think that what you're doing is very difficult. Describing music is some people may think it's unnecessary because music has to speak for itself, and putting emotions to word is not easy. So I was, for example, wondering if one of you is in charge, so to speak, of the sequences, and the other one is in charge of the atmosphere, or it doesn't matter. It comes as it comes spontaneously. How do you work that?
In fact, both. But I've learned from Thaneco much about sequences. So he's the man for the sequence. And yeah, Thaneco has learned for me to bring more, how do you call it?
Atmosphere.
Atmosphere, yes.
Yeah.
In the music. So we both have something about the other.
Yeah, good. Well, that's the idea. You know, I was going to mention, I forgot doing it at the beginning of the conversation, that a handful of bands from Holland are well known in Chile, just in case I forgot mentioning it, because I want to go to the influences conversation. They are, of course, the Golden Earring, you know, the Muel, and Radar Love. And then you have Flerk, created by the amazing, very talented guitar player, Eric Visa. They've been here in Chile several times.
Very much.
Yeah,
I've influenced by so much Beatles, Genesis, jazz, Pink Floyd, you name it.
Yeah. And there
Enya, not forget.
Who?
Enya.
Sorry? Enya.
Enya. Oh, very, very good.
René, are you familiar with Clannad, Enya's family?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They are great too. Yeah, and I was also going to mention the very beginnings of, I suppose, Dutch pop, like the Shocking Blue, who were a big hit.
Shocking Blue, yes.
Yeah, with Venus and Never Marry a Railroad Man. And all that, you know, revolves in my head because that's where I come from. And I'm sure that the three of us come from radio, come from pop music. And then it's very interesting that you finally could develop a sound that can describe stories and mysteries, as is the case of the Interstellar Tunnel. I was going to ask you, were you always interested in the Mayan culture before this album came as an idea, or what do you know about it? Or,
to be honest, no. It's the idea, a very good idea from Thaneco, and he encouraged me to make together this album. And as he told me about the majors, something, and the Interstellar Tunnel, I think, hey, that's very interesting. So I searched some information about internet on the internet, so I can, yes. Yes.
What is so special about the Mayas?
Yes.
Why?
And the god Kinich Ahau, and what is their believings? Because when you make an album, you must know what it's all about.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you can do something with another that said, hey, that is not right.
But my question is, do you always do you tend to make albums that are concept albums, or because some people just make electronic music for the sake of rhythm, searching for melodies, but with no such big concept as like the Mayan behind, which is a big concept
Mostly.
indeed. Mm-hmm.
Mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree.
At the beginning, I have some albums what not so thematic was, but the last albums, yes, there's all thematic.
Yeah.
And I like it very much to do
Okay.
it.
Okay.
But it's extra work. You have to search out some things before you make the music.
Of course. Yeah. Were you familiar with the Popol Vuh, René and Thaneco, with this Mayan book?
No.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm familiar. I have read a lot of books about the so-called Mayanism. The Mayanism is a term that they use, many people use. There were writers such as Eric von Daniken and Zechariah Sitchin, who wrote about they had theories invoking ancient astronauts and other extraterrestrials from outer space. And there was an idea that ancient people from lost lands brought wisdom and technology to the Mayans.
Mm-hmm.
And I also, I like very much Zechariah Sitchin. I have all his books. He's talking about this concept and the implication that the Mayans had access to aspects of ancient knowledge, spiritualism, philosophy, and also from a very young age I was reading books with this idea of the ancient astronauts. And I was very intrigued with the. I always had the question why there are pyramids in Egypt and there are pyramids in the Mayan civilization and the Aztecs and the Mayans. They have similar things, and all these things were very interesting to me. And from a very young age, I was very attracted to these philosophies and books.
So I assume that you do. Yeah. I assume, Thaneco, that you do believe that we are not alone in this planet.
Of course, I believe that there is another civilization and maybe many more that we cannot know how many.
We cannot see it.
We cannot see them. We cannot know.
We cannot hear it.
But I'm sure that someday we will discover them. There will be one day that will.
What is your own belief? What is your own theory? Why are they invisible still for so long? What are they waiting for? Is it true that they are waiting for us to be in real danger before the planet becomes,
I don't know. That's a very good question. It's the Fermox paradox. How do you call it? That why we're still alone and why we cannot see them if they exist. Maybe it's because they are too far away, and maybe our planet is in another in some kind of a bubble where everything is far away from us and we cannot travel and see them or make a contact.
And do you think your music can really make people wonder about these things? I mean, I'm asking this like innocently. I'm sure it does. The music puts you in a mood to meditate and find your own explanations. So I suppose that Interstellar Tunnel is doing that to the listeners.
Of course, I try to, when I write music, always to make the listener think about some concepts, and I want to not only to entertain with my music, but to make people think about concepts and ideas. That's why I always have concepts about the universe, the aliens, other civilizations, mysteries from around the world.
Yes.
And I think René also has a similar interest. So,
Yeah. What can you say about that, René?
yeah.
What makes you mystified and interested and about unexplained things, special things?
Yes, yes, that's why the reason that I said, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do this together. And yeah, the mysticism, indeed. And I've learned something from the Mayans, from their believings and their world. So it's for me, it's a very exciting project.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's tell the people who are not familiar with all this that the Popol Vuh is a Mayan document that was found in the 18th century by a man called Francisco Jimenez, and it got translated into Spanish, but then it got lost. And it's about this interstellar tunnel where the god, whose name is Kinich Ahau, and the book of Popol Vuh, I think they refer to the sun with that god.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
The believing is that there's something wisdom from people, God Ahau sent to the people on earth, so they can share the wisdom from this God.
Yeah.
And he gets the wisdom from the gods from heaven
Yeah.
through this interstellar tunnel.
What about Greece? What about Greece, Thaneco? Do you think that there were some? Sorry about the not knowing this, but is there any evidence of any visitors from the past in Greece, as there is in Egypt and the pyramids and all that?
Not that I know of, but of course, the Greek civilization was one of the earliest civilizations. But before the Greek civilizations, there were even more ancient. And actually, von Däniken and Zechariah Sitchin say that we were visited from outer space, and actually, the first aliens that came, they came here, and they made the human beings from outer space, actually, and they landed in Mesopotamia, and the civilization of the Sumerians, actually, one of the most ancient civilizations, was made from alien beings. That's what they say in their books, and it's very interesting because this theory, it's a very interesting theory to know that we were made from outer space.
I remember you teach children, Thaneco. How I'm not sure about their ages. Do you notice any interest in this young generation in these topics, or are they too very?
I don't know because I teach children the piano, and my lessons are private. I just see one kid in the classroom, and we just begin practicing the piano. We don't discuss any topics about aliens or something else. But I'm sure that the young generation always search for secrets and for theories, and they always search things in the internet. And of course, they have similar questions like we have.
I was going to mention, if you allow me to, the collaborations you've made in the past, starting in 2019, are Sequences Passing By, The Dark Underground, The Dark Underground to Nowhere, Space Rituals, Exploring the Trappist, and then there's one called Dark Force, Homage, Machine, The Magic Scarab, which sounds very, very interesting, and the remnants of supernova explosions.
Yes.
Yeah, what are these albums based on? Would you point out one of them or a couple of them that are were particularly meaningful to you regarding that you had to investigate, you had to read a little bit. What are they about?
For me, all albums I did with Romerium are interesting, and I cannot pick one and say this is the best or it's my favorite because every album has very good moments, and each one has its own character. I cannot say that one is better than the other, and each one has its own story to tell to the listener.
Yeah, that's my question. Yes. Is there any of them that has a story that you particularly are fond of, Rene or Thaneco?
No, I don't think so. Everyone is equally important to me. Yes. I don't know. Rene can say something about.
It's just the idea what I get on date. So the supernovas, I saw it on television, and hey, that's very interesting. Supernovas. What for thing is this? Oh, that's an explosion of the sun. Blah blah blah. Okay, and I read about it, and I go, hey, this is very interesting. I go to, and then I saw the pictures. I think, hey, this is very good. We can make an album about these explosions, and from this album, I had one particular song in mind, and that was the Albedo 1039 from Vangelis. So I have voices in it, nearly every song. Voices, what counts from okay, this is the sun, and this is zoveel million tons, zoveel million that is the impression what I want to make. Music is impression, music is art, music is so I wanted the impressions from these supernovas. I want to and make it impress in pictures, but especially in music.
Yeah, and there's an album you made, Drift to Heaven. I suppose it's like some kind of tribute.
That's a tribute.
Yeah.
That's a tribute for Vangelis. Yeah, that's very good.
Why do you think he became what he became? He was almost like a god of electronic music, not only in Greece, not only in Europe, but all over the place. And he was requested for original soundtracks, and he made an amazing number of albums that are today like the standards of electronic music through the years. So how do you see his contributions in particular? Of course, you are a big fan. You made this tribute, this homage.
Sure. It's just okay. He had left the world. I was and Thaneco. We both were sad about it, and okay, let's make a tribute track for evenzo for Klaus Schulze. A year before.
Yeah.
We make this album, and we set it for free, so for everyone to listen to. It's our way to make we heard our feelings about the loss of the change of cosmic address.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's not a loss, but a modification, as you say. Yeah.
It's from Tension Team.
And also, I want to add that Vangelis is very important because he wrote music not only for film. He wrote for documentaries. He wrote a lot of music that many people don't know everything. but he has a very large musical output, and also he incorporates Greek elements in his music, like Greek scales, also traditional Greek instruments sometimes, and together with electronic, with the synthesizers like the famous Yamaha CS80 that he always played in most of his records. And he has a very unique style because he has how to say, he knows very well how to use this synth. He's very he knows everything about how to create sounds in this synthesizer.
He sounds great, filmic, and sometimes bombastic,
and very expressive, yes. And very expressive in his playing, very expressive.
Yes,
and that is what people like, because he has this human element in his music that most other musicians don't have it. He's very expressive. That's what I was. Yes.
I remember him from Patras Child also. And Patras Child was in my youth has made a very good impression on me. So that sort of songs.
Now, I was going to ask you both really. I think I've seen some other interviews with Thaneco, and there's somebody else asking him what I'm going to ask you. Both René and Thaneco. It's really impressive the number of albums that you made together, but also as a solo artist. And I've been thinking of the old traditional bands. The first thing that electronic thing that I ever heard must have been, I don't know, Vangelis, Klaus Schulze, then Isao Tomita from Japan, then Larry Fast, Synergy from America, whom I really appreciate, then Tangerine Dream, of course. But then I think that I can still name all the albums that they made in their heyday, like, Rubicon, Ricochet, Alpha Centauri, in the case of Tangerine Dream. But I see in your generation, and somebody was asking in some other interview, where do you get all the energy and the inspiration to make so many records in not such a long time? The same question goes for René. It's really amazing to see how many artists on Bandcamp, particularly, which is a place I recommend to check your music. Thaneco and Romerium, yes. There's so much music. Where does it all come from?
It's just for me. I like to make music. It's for me. It's for me to express the feelings in music, and I like it very much. I do it for years and years, and every time a new project starts, it's my heart beats a little faster because it's so very good. Okay, yeah. I have to learn something. I have to collect the information, and when I have to live in the project, and then the sweet spot comes that I. Writing the music, thinking out, and that's for me. That's the sweet spot. After that, mixing, mastering, everything comes behind. But, it's a hobby for me, and it's the best hobby I ever had.
Were you formally trained, René? Did you ever study music? Or are you self-taught?
No, not. I just all about alerted myself.
Okay. Yeah.
I've only took some basic lessons to get my fingers across the piano and some synthesizer. So I know some chords or something like that, but and reading notes.
No.
No way. I can't.
Did you ever have a band? Did you ever play in a band?
In the beginning, I was a fan van een band. This was a very little gothic band named Movement. And
what's the name? Sorry, what is the name?
Gothic band. The name was Movement.
Okay.
That was the band name. And it were two colleagues from work. And they played like, how do you call it? The group. Yes, I have to look.
Okay, no problem. Did you ever record anything? Do you have recordings of those times?
No. There's no recording.
Okay.
Yeah, there is something, but if you move from one address to another, you lose many of the things I lose. So I don't think that I have this. Oh yeah, they play it and sing like The Cure.
Okay.
The Cure is very interesting.
Yeah. Well, their initial period, at least for me, is interesting, and then the new album, I think it became interesting again because Why Can I Be You and those radio hits are okay, but I thought that the first records like 17 Seconds and Pornography, all those are like more obscure albums, sound more interesting to me. So yeah.
Okay, from the band, I had that idea from I want to make music by myself. And then I bought a synthesizer, and then I just started. Then I built up my little studio, and okay.
Why synthesizers, René, and not the guitar, not the saxophone?
Synthesizer, you can every sound, what you think about it, you can get it from a synthesizer.
Okay.
Strings, you name it, pad sounds, sequences, everything. What you think about it, you can get it out of a synthesizer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I can create a complete orchestral without. When I just play a guitar, I need someone to drum. I need someone to sing, or I need a mouth. And in synthesizer, it's all there.
Have you ever considered adding vocals in your records, in your solo albums, René?
Yes.
Sorry, I don't know the whole discography. Do you have any records with somebody singing on them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have some productions where I did some voices. One album for myself, but mostly I make a translation on the internet. My voices are much better than my voices.
Okay.
Okay, to tell the story.
Okay.
Thaneco, you would like to add something about what we're talking about?
I like. I had a band. I played with a band many times. I had my own band in Patras called The Flow. We did one album in 2003. We made a CD, not CDR, actual CD album, and we played a few concerts in Greece. And I have a previous experience with progressive rock and this kind of music. And I really like vocals to have a voice in my music. That's why this last album that we did with Romerium, I used a few vocal samples, especially in the third track, I think, and the last one. the last track of the album. There are some female vocals, female spoken words, and I really like it adds atmosphere, and I'm thinking in the future to use more voices and vocals.
Sorry, what was the name of the band you had?
The band is called it's called The Flow.
The Flow. Okay.
The Flow. It's there are many bands with the same name around Europe, but there's only one in Greece with the name The Flow. We did one album in 2003. That's all.
And what happened to the band? Did you not? Did you?
Because of we had different jobs and different and families and stuff like this, and we could not maintain the band, so we had to follow separate ways.
Okay. One question for the two of you: can electronic music in general, still offer new directions, new styles? I think the sounds will be the same coming from special synthesizers or instruments. Do you think the question is, how difficult is it to sound different from one album to the next if you want not to change the style? I know that Thaneco says that he doesn't want to change much, but my question is, couldn't there be a feeling of something that you already find familiar with this huge amount of music being made today? How do you manage to make it special? That's my question.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I go first?
Yeah.
I think first of all, I don't believe that music can offer completely new directions or styles. I think I believe everything has been said and created and played, and the new styles that now they exist, they are a mixture of other styles, or they're a blend of other styles, and they make something a little different. But there is nothing completely new, and I think that it doesn't mean that music creation will stop suddenly. Music has to exist, and it will always exist, and we will always express ourselves because we're human beings, and we need to create music to create beauty. And also, as Vangelis once said, what we need today is to invest in beauty, because beauty is harmony that comes from chaos, and people invest in chaos because it's more profitable than peace. So essentially, beauty is a safety valve for humanity, and music has to create beauty. So that is what we're trying to do with Romerium. We're trying to create beauty with our music, and what we feel that is beautiful, because some other people might think that our music is not beautiful, is something that we cannot satisfy everyone. Okay, so as long as we express ourselves and we like what we create, there will always be people that will find this music interesting, and I believe that maybe we have our own style of music. I don't know. It's something original. It's not. I don't think it's something. It's a copy of something. I think we have created something that is original, and you can listen to it in every album that we have created.
Do you believe you have a certain age? Do you believe there's a certain age that people who listen to you is like teenagers,
yes,
adults?
I think that there is a certain age. Most of our audience is not very young. I think it's from 30 years old and older.
Yeah.
Yes. I think younger generation, younger people are not in this style of music too much, because Berlin school music began with Tangerine Dream essentially in the 70s. now kids don't know what
they don't know what they miss.
Who are Tangerine Dream and what is a sequencer, what is this style of music is a little strange to them, but it doesn't mean that it's a bad style of, it's a bad thing. They can always discover it, and maybe in the future we will have more audience from this generation.
Rene?
It's how do you call it? It's just we doing our own thing, and we bring our own visions in the music, and we don't care what now we care what others think about it, but we don't like to please someone else with our music. Some people will say, okay, very good, Romerium. Some people will say, Romerium, okay. Just what Thaneco said, you can please everyone with the music. So we have our own visions, and we bring out our own feelings and visions in the music. That's it.
Yeah, very good. You've been telling me that for the images, for the illustration of the cover, which is really amazing, artificial intelligence has been a little helpful or somewhat helpful. And one of my questions is, how do you see this developing artificial intelligence these days? Do you see it as a friend, as a foe, as something to be taken care of? How much or how positively or negatively could it affect the creation of art in the future?
It depends on how the people use it. Some people use it to generate music and say, "Hey, I'm the owner," and I think, okay, that's not for me. It's a tool.
Okay.
It's a tool. I can generate some pictures for me. I select the pictures. The best pictures are picked out, and so I have 40-50 pictures and so and each. That's one, and it can set my thoughts in a story. So it's for me it's helpful AI to bring more. How did you say it?
I don't know. Maybe it can enhance or develop a little bit your own concepts.
Yes.
Yeah.
But when I create music, I don't use IE at all.
Okay. Yeah.
Not what I have. I also not for music innovation. Everything is come from my own feelings. So there's no IE ever. But for pictures and the story, yes, I will use IE to clear something. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you take a look at this cover, I think it's a very it's impossible not to stay a few seconds looking at it. What do you think this is the god in the Mayan legend? What do you think he's telling us? He's like trying to explain something to catch our attention. He seems very serious. He looks very serious to me. He's not very happy. Or maybe
we are serious about them.
Yeah.
So this one of the best pictures. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Actually, Rene made these pictures with artificial intelligence, and I picked this one for the cover, and it looks very nice because it's like this god invites us to find a secret of the universe. It's really nice. It's very atmospheric.
Uh-huh. And I understand that you sort of divided the compositions like 4 and 4, so to speak. You made like 4 essential, I don't know what you call them, like drafts. You made 4 and 4. How do
you mean the music?
Yep.
Yes. We for the albums we pick like 8 titles that we are interested to make the music. And for example, we have 8 tracks, and we say 4 tracks are. I will create the sequences for the 4 tracks, and René will create the sequences for the other 4 tracks. And then we add the improvisations and the other sounds, and then we create the album.
Yes.
And we send each other the audio files through the internet.
Okay.
That's the way we always work in each album.
What are some of your pending goals, musically speaking, René and Thaneco? Well, obviously, it's impossible to set limits. You just move on and keep creating and expressing yourself, not through language, but through music. Do you have anything in mind that you still want to fulfill, like has been pending? Or, I don't know, would you maybe like to make an original soundtrack together? Or, I don't know, what is on your way?
On my way, it's only to make the music. I don't look in the future.
Okay.
The chance that you get more famous is very small. So you can say, okay, I want to be famous, but
I agree with
when I have this target, I just want to be frustrated about it. So I just make my music. That's it. It's a hobby, not more and not less.
Okay. Kind of cool.
I agree with Romerium. Also, I don't think too much for the future, but actually, sometimes I think of what is best to do, and maybe sometime in the future I would like to make a soundtrack for a movie. For example, if I find someone that makes a movie here in Greece and wants someone to make the music, I would be very interested. And it's one of my dreams, and maybe it will become true someday. I don't know.
How's the movie industry health in Greece? And I know there's lots of documentaries coming out from the Netherlands and Greece. Maybe not so many movies. So I think that the chance you may find, and I hope you do find the chance to do that, is maybe documentaries, maybe about the Mayan culture, maybe about the
yes. The documentaries is one thing. Yes, I'm very interested in documentaries. Also, Vangelis has written music for documentaries and other musicians, very famous. It's one of my dreams to have my music in TV, something in a documentary or a movie or something similar.
How much space is there on TV these days in Greece or Holland, in the Netherlands, for independent musicians? Because sometimes this is a very close area. Only the
not too much here, especially here in Greece. There is almost nothing to do. There is no independent culture. If there is something, it's only in Athens, and it's very hard to do something like this. You have to have connections, to know people.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's for me living in Patras is extremely difficult. Maybe I have to make more friends from Athens.
Yeah.
I have noticed that some of my tracks, short takes out from my tracks, are used in television
Oh,
and radio. Yeah, yes. And I get paid for it.
okay.
Not much, but okay, some paid. But some tracks are very interesting for this industry. But it's not that they call me and say, "Hey, Romerium, your track is very no, nothing at all." But I see, hey, this track is played on the television station for about 10 seconds. Okay,
What in what kind of space is that played? In a commercial, in a like a background for some shows?
Mostly, I think I cannot trace it good, but I think it will be in some documentary.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I have a documentary about the wall of Berlin,
Okay.
and one of my tracks are used for it, and they have an excerpt, and they put it on the
The credits.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
okay, I get paid per what is it, 10 seconds or so, or 7 seconds.
that's very important that you have. They are doing the things the right way, because sometimes they, in some other places, I don't want to say here, they may pick up music and they just use it and you get nothing out of it. So they do the things the right way in your place. They pay you as they should. Yeah.
It's for me. It's only the fun to making the music, and if someone else says, "Hey, that's very important. I will use it." Okay, it's very good.
Okay.
Now you have to pay.
And
It's not.
what other things take your time apart from making music? What do you have any hobbies, Renee? I ask you because I think we've spoken about this with Thaneco before. But anyway, the two of you invited to mention what else do you do? How do you spend your day when you're not working formally?
When I'm now I've retired, so I have time, plenty of time,
Okay.
and that's very fine because plenty of time you can every day, if you wish, you
Yeah.
can make the music. I
Yeah.
don't do it every day because I live together with my wife,
Yeah.
and we make. I like to be in nature, walking in nature,
Mhm.
and going out with my wife, make some delicious to a restaurant or something. This just in short to say, I enjoy life as a retired person,
Good.
and yeah, okay, and to get what do you call it, om bezig te zijn.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I make the music. Okay, this that's what I'm doing.
Mhm.
Do you ever check the other artists in Bandcamp? And if so, do you have
Yes,
any?
yes.
Yes, you do.
I just checked other artists. Sometimes I have the feeling that some artists don't make music. They're just only making noise.
Oh,
Um, for me, it's not it's not quite right.
okay. Yeah, you know,
I can make it. I can make it too. Noise.
to
It's
be
not.
honest, I skipped one question that I had about that, and
Mhm.
I'm going to read it. I have it here. It's like, how much music can an artist create completely spontaneously today without an urge to keep playing and experimenting? I mean, what we were saying in the past, the bands would spend some time trying to make an album, and they would really have to make big decisions to see what comes in the album and if it really becomes an album in the end. I am sure that you make music that doesn't end up in a release. You just keep the tracks for yourself. But as you say, many people that are making maybe noisy music or music that you don't like, I don't know what they are after, what they seek. I suppose that they just want to be there, part of the scene. But I don't know. It's difficult to judge music, so we better leave it here, leave it there. I think some people just make music because they want to go on and go on and go on, and sometimes they may lose the point. The purpose of their search, their music. I don't know.
Well, I can make music, and I can make music, and I can do the same over and over again, but it's not my style. I don't like it, because every new album what I make is different.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
it's yeah.
Thaneco?
I agree with René. Even though I tend to write like 3 or 4 albums, not 4 albums, but 2 or 3 albums per year. I think that I write, but it's not that I write them just to write them to have many albums. It's just that I create many tracks in my studio, and then from these tracks I pick the best, and then usually it comes down to 3 albums, and it's just because every day I have a habit sitting in my home studio and writing something, and then after this, the next day I listen to what I wrote, and I continue the track, and sometimes it finishes, and without knowing, I have like 30 or 40 tracks in a period of 3 months. So I don't know. It's just what comes out of me. I don't do it in purpose. Other people, I agree with you, maybe write music to stay in the scene, because they are in a record company, and they need to make albums to exist, for them to exist, to be able to advertise themselves in Facebook or something. I don't like doing this. I want to have something that is that I feel proud, that I write something that I feel proud of, and that I will listen again and again. If I don't listen to an album, it's because I don't like it. So I want to have an album that I will go again and listen after some period of time. So I try to collect the best tracks that I have, and release them in Bandcamp.
Yeah.
And I feel that I've done the right thing. I don't know.
So by the way, let's tell everyone that where people can find your music, Thaneco and Romerium's music, the collaborations and the solo work is at Bandcamp. That's bandcamp.com, where there's lots of people making music and offering their music. There are amazing numbers of musicians and bands that I was unaware of, and it's really it would take a whole lifetime checking all there is. Finally, I wanted to share this, if you don't mind, these illustrations that you sent me, René. Yeah, these are part of the PDF selection of images about the new album, The Interstellar Tunnel. Are these sent to the press? What are these images? There's some story here, which is fascinating, of course. Yeah.
It's to do. I want to give the people some extra, and I want to when I write a story about it, or AI in that case. Okay, I can present the people they want to listen or buy the album.
That one. Yeah.
There's another talent that Romerium has. he likes to do booklets and very artistic photos and videos, and
It's surprising. Okay.
He's also very talented in making videos.
I didn't know that.
With music.
Yeah.
Oh.
I like it. I like to make videos and videos with dreams, dreaming about the music or so, and taking some effects on it, so the people get an how you call it, an impression from, hey, that's very good music, about 19 seconds video or 60 seconds. And okay, that's my way to promote my material, and or our material.
Yeah. And how
So
do you?
So I put it on YouTube. When you put a complete track on YouTube, okay, you give it away.
Okay. Yeah. And
Yeah, you get. You get paid 0.0001 cent for one listen.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, but okay.
But you have very amazing covers, and this new one, I think, is really leaves you wondering. Yeah, about this god of the Mayan culture. Well, congratulations for the album. I'm really obviously planning to play the whole album one of these days on my radio show on rrcradio.cl. So yeah,
thank you.
Please, no, thank you.
Very much.
Thank you for the music and the time, Rene and Thaneco. And I hope that this was a fine time for you. And I think it's not going to be the last time we're going to be talking about your music, hopefully. So good luck in whatever comes. And that's it.
Okay, thank you.
I would love to talk to you again sometime in the future. And of course, with Romerium, we are continuing collaborating, and we'll have more albums in the future. And, and many more stories to tell.
Yeah,
for the audience.
What good, excellent. You know what's just crossing my mind? I was wondering, will you ever teach the synthesizer, not the piano, to the children in the school? Why not?
That would be a great idea, but here schools are very narrow-minded. They only teach the classical music and nothing else. And of course, it would be very interesting to teach electronic music and synthesizers. But in order to do this, you have to go to the university, and not they don't do it in
school.
In the public schools. Yes, they don't do it.
Okay, so thanks to the two of you. Thanks for the time and the interest, and keep being happy making music, and giving this message that is so unique. Music can make people so happy, and make them think about relevant things.
Thank you very much for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.